Hey, it's Amy Pearson from beingamytheblog.com. And it's been a while since I've posted a video. In fact, it's been 2 weeks since I posted a video. And the reason behind that is because my son, my 12-year-old, actually he's 13, was recently, he tested positive for COVID. So he's been sick. And my husband was exposed at the same time that he was, and my husband is not vaccinated. And so they've been in quarantine. Luckily, we have an outbuilding outside of our house, and we have a bathroom as well in there. So he's been there with my son and kind of taking care of him. And I've been taking care of them on top of the girls. And so also just, really sort of focused on what I can do to help him, given the circumstances. So a lot of research into treatments, a lot of research into vitamin protocols, a lot of time spent with doctors, and I kind of went into beast mode as far as researching everything that I possibly could to help my son. So his symptoms have been mild, and my husband hasn't actually tested positive. So we're crossing our fingers that he doesn't get sick. The thing that I wanted to talk about, though, today has to do with consent. Because one of the things that I've noticed as I've been navigating the situation over the past couple of weeks is that there are a lot of people out there who want to project their worldview onto our situation. As an example, when we shared the news that my husband had tested negative despite being quarantined with my son, the first thing that the doctor said was, to my son, "You've got it, and you're gonna get it." And then a few family members, well, really just one, really was like, "You're gonna get it," to my husband. And then, of course, there are those well-meaning people, family members, etc., who want to share their scary stories about COVID and what they've seen and how it's impacted people, and things like that. So it's all understandable. But the thing that I notice as I'm listening to certain people projecting sort of what they think will happen or how things are going to go is that plants seeds, right? It plants certain kinds of seeds that don't feel well. Like it doesn't feel good to be perfectly healthy and have someone tell you that it's inevitable that you're going to get really sick. It doesn't feel well when your son's having mild symptoms to have someone tell you about a similar teen who got really sick. It doesn't feel well, and it I'll just speak for myself. It puts me in a state of fear, and it puts me in a state of anticipation for something negative happening, which doesn't feel good. And I know that there's a lot of information out there about, COVID and the virus, and people are hearing a lot of different things. But what I want to emphasize is that you have sovereignty over your own worldview. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what the media is telling you. Because the beautiful thing about being a human and having our own thoughts is that we have this ability to create the reality that we want. And a lot of times I think what I've realized as I'm kind of thinking about consent and this, the ideas that people share, is that I've kind of had this assumption that just because it's out there, or my close family members are sharing things with me about their beliefs, or even in the media, whether that's, whatever media choice whatever media outlet you choose to follow, if you do, is that just because it's out there, just because someone believes it, or just because someone's saying it, or just because a lot of people are saying it, doesn't mean that you have to allow that into your worldview. You, in every single moment, get to choose how you are creating your reality. So you can set boundaries with people. One of the things that I've done is I've said, no scary stories. That goes for all of you that are watching, right? I don't want to hear any scary stories that you have about people with COVID, or children with COVID, or, people who've tested positive or negative. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I say that with love. I am setting a boundary because I want to stay in a high vibration. I want to stay in the vibration of love. I want to stay in a vibration of courage. I want to stay in a vibration of neutrality. I don't want to be in fear. I don't want to be in guilt. I don't want to be in anger. I want to be in the vibration that I choose. So, I don't know about you, but I'm sort of maxed out when it comes to fear. I'm sort of maxed out when it comes to, the media telling me about all the things that I need to be afraid of, whether that's a virus or, people being murdered or, slaughtered, all of it. Like, I'm sort of maxed out. And so one of the things that you can do, this is my bathing suit. I'm out by the pool. One of the things that you can do is just set boundaries with people, set boundaries with the things that you are watching and reading and looking at and ingesting, right? I've really had to do that because I've become more and more aware of how things feel in my body. And when something feels wrong, I don't continue to absorb it. I set a boundary with it. I'm doing everything that I can to be informed and do the best that I can for my family. So, that's where I am. And I don't need to have, people's projected realities in my life right now. So that's so I guess when it comes to consent, it's sort of like, what are you consenting to as far as what other people are telling you? And that could be things that are happening right now in the world, but it could also just be as simple as, someone is shaming you or blaming you or judging you or making you feel bad because of your choices. And it's like, are you going to allow that? Are you going to consent to that? Are you going to just take it? You have a choice. You have a choice in every moment to create your own reality. Humans are powerful creators. And so you can choose what it is that you want to allow inside your psyche. And how does that feel? Just notice. But it's time we stop just assuming that just because someone puts it out there, or just because a lot of people believe it, or just because, certain sources even are saying that we all of a sudden just need to let that be our worldview. I think what we need to do more of is use discernment, first of all, and also just notice how things make you feel, right? I know as a life coach that one of the things that I've learned is that when we're believing lies or things that are bad for us, we feel bad. We feel bad. And so it's kind of like there's this internal warning system that we have. And when there's something that we hear or believe, and a lot of times it's our own crappy thoughts directed towards ourselves, right? But things that we believe, if we decide to believe them and they feel bad, then somewhere inside of that belief is a lie that you're believing. It's sort of like when you lie to another person, it feels bad. because you're creating distance between you and that other person. So when you're believing lies or lying to yourself, you're creating a distance between you and your higher self. And so it feels bad. And so it's really about choosing, right? Using discernment and choosing what energy and frequency do you want to carry into your day-to-day, minute-to-minute reality. And that's what I've really been thinking a lot about over these past 2 weeks, and realizing that I've just kind of passively been allowing a lot of other realities to influence me without really realizing that I have a choice about what it is that I want to allow into my consciousness. So I'm curious what you think, and if you found this helpful, please give it a like, give it a share, give it a comment. And thanks for listening. Thanks for your patience. I know I've been away a little while. I went a little bit MIA. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but we're doing fine, and we're very blessed, and I'm learning a ton. So anyway, thanks for listening, and take care.